Today, we're taking a deep dive into the Belkin WeMo smart home ecosystem. If you've been considering adding automation to your home, you've likely come across WeMo's range of smart plugs, light switches, and power strips. They promise easy setup, remote control via the WeMo app, and compatibility with major smart home systems like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and Apple HomeKit. But do they deliver on that promise? Starting with the setup, WeMo devices are supposed to be plug and play, but many users, including myself, have encountered connectivity issues. The initial pairing process can be frustrating, with the app sometimes failing to detect the device or dropping the connection. I had to reset my smart plug multiple times before it finally connected. This seems to be a common complaint, especially with older models. Once connected, the WeMo app allows you to control your devices remotely. You can turn them on and off, set schedules, and even use an away mode that randomly toggles lights to make it look like someone's home. These features are great in theory, but the app itself feels outdated. The interface is not as intuitive as some competing apps, and response times can be slow. Occasionally, commands take several seconds to register, which isn't ideal when you're expecting instant control. One major selling point is voice assistant compatibility. WeMo works well with Alexa and Google Assistant, allowing for voice commands like, "Alexa, turn on the living room lamp." However, integration with Apple HomeKit is less reliable. Some users have reported that WeMo devices frequently become unresponsive in the Apple Home app, requiring a manual reset. Not sure how to avoid draining your wallet on gifts? I used to face that problem too, until I discovered GiveMeo, where you can get cash back on your purchases and keep surprising your loved ones without breaking the bank. Click the link in the description. Let's talk about reliability. WeMo smart plugs and switches tend to work well when they're functioning properly. But there's a recurring issue with firmware updates causing devices to drop from the network. This means you may have to reset them more often than you'd like, which isn't ideal for something that's supposed to make life easier. In comparison, other brands like TP-Link Casa and Lutron Cassetta seem to offer more stable performance. One feature I did appreciate was the ability to create automation routines. For example, I set my WeMo plug to turn on a coffee maker every morning, and when it works, it's great. But the inconsistency in connectivity means that some days, it just doesn't turn on, and I have to manually intervene. Security is another factor to consider. WeMo devices rely on Wi-Fi without requiring a central hub, which makes them easy to install but potentially more vulnerable to hacking. While there haven't been widespread security concerns, it's always a risk when using any Wi-Fi connected smart device. In terms of pricing, WeMo products are mid-range, not the cheapest, but not the most expensive either. Given the occasional connectivity issues and app glitches, I'd say they are somewhat overpriced for the experience they provide. If you're looking for reliability, you might want to consider other options before committing to WeMo. Overall, the Belkin WeMo ecosystem has potential, but it's not without its flaws. If you're tech-savvy and don't mind troubleshooting occasional connectivity problems, it could be a decent addition to your smart home setup. But if you want a hassle-free experience, there are better alternatives out there. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more honest tech reviews. Let me know in the comments if you've used WeMo and what your experience has been like.